Hare Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Pachati Atakaman Sarva Parta Manogatan Atmanivatnatusta Sita Pakasta Tochate. This is Bhagavad Gita 255. The Supreme Personality of God, etc. apart, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind is purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Lord Krishna uses the word manogatan, mental concoction. Feelings of enjoyment that come into the mind are nothing than a mental concoction created by the mind. So these three ladies are enjoying a pizza because this enjoyment comes into the mind and they identify with the mind, and then they think, yes, that is my happiness, the happiness that I feel in the mind because that's me. But that is an illusion, that this is just a feeling created by the mind, by the interaction between the senses and the objects of the senses, gives so-called happiness and distress. This is only an experience of the mind, and we are not the mind. The devotee becomes the observer of the mind and the controller of the mind. But if you think you are the mind, then you cannot control your mind. You must realize that that the soul and the intelligence are higher energies, more subtle and more powerful, and they can control the mind. So real enjoyment is above that. That's the enjoyment of the soul, the spiritual enjoyment experienced by spiritual senses in relation with Krishna. So that relation with Krishna is serving Krishna out of love, giving love to Krishna, and that gives rise to devotion. That devotion connects with the spiritual energy, and we feel very satisfied inside. Suprasiddhati, very satisfied. But that satisfaction cannot be get by the senses. It's very temporary, and it's just a counteracting of this distress. Like the pizza is nice when I'm hungry, but when I'm not hungry anymore, finish. So this manogatan is created by formal energy. It's a setup by the supersoul in the heart, who controls all this machinery of material nature. So powerful, we see here a banyan tree. The banyan tree, yes, has produced so many seeds, and every seed has the potency to create another banyan tree. It is so potent. Well, why are we so attracted to this material enjoyment in the mind? We are not the mind. It comes because we desired somehow or another to become the enjoyer and the controller, separate from Krishna. And that desire, Krishna doesn't approve. It's like a son wanted to touch fire, and the father said, no, don't do it. And the son said, no, I won't. And the father said, no, don't do it. And then the son said again, no, I won't. And the father, okay, you try it out. And the son touched and suffers, is burned. But the supersoul in our heart wants us back. But to come out of this identification with this mind and this manogatan, that one must transcend this material nature. It is very powerful. Krishna says, Devaye Guna Maya Mama Maya Drachya Mami Paye Papachante Maya Metam Tarantite. That Mama Maya, this material illusory energy of mine, Duacha, is very difficult to overcome. But when you surrender to me, then you can transcend it. Because then you transcend this material consciousness of identifying with the mind and the body. And you start to identify again as a spirit soul. For this, we have to create transcendental consciousness. But to come to that level of transcendental consciousness, one must come to the point, one must associate with someone who is beyond the material nature. And that's the Anuttama Adhikar devotee. It's required to rise above these modes. So, therefore, we must hear daily the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam and read the purpose of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is an Uttamadhikari and explains us how to practice devotional service and surely raise up in the mode the goodness and then transcends the modes. So that is a very important for us to regularly hear and discuss this with advanced devotees. And that will bring us out of this manogatan, this identifying with these mental concoctions in the mind. Then we identify ourselves as a servant of Krishna and see everything in relation to that of service to Krishna. And then we become happy and satisfied. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki